Hey future millionaires, this is Phil from Next Chapter Financial Solutions and Services, and in this video we're going to give you a quick recap of what diversification is for long-term investing. After we go through the definitions and give you a quick recap, we're also going to jump into the spreadsheets, walk through a couple funds, and show you what diversification looks like in action. Now let's jump into diversification overview and how it plays a big part in your long-term investment strategy, and it could help you build wealth if done properly. Diversification is a strategy for long-term investing success. Basically, you're trying to work on spreading your investments across different asset classes to help you manage risk. But now let's dig a little deeper. On the super high level, diversification is basically saying, you know what, I'm not going to put all of my eggs in one basket. In fact, what I'm going to focus on doing is spreading those investments across various sectors and industries and or even asset types to help you win over the long period of time with your investing and hopefully build wealth. So, what is the impact of diversification over the long period of time? It helps you manage risk, helps you manage market volatility, and manages asset allocation. Benefits over long-term growth. Other benefits is performance stability. With performance stability, you won't have that big roller coaster as much. You'll always have a roller coaster because market factors will occur to kind of lower and increase your balance, but hopefully they stay within a 2% range of each other. So maybe your portfolio overall has a 9%, and some years is 11, and some years is 7. That's great. That's great diversification. Now, conversely, if your portfolio has a 9% and some years it's 11 and some years it's 1, then wow, you've got some volatility going on there. And that's what diversification is trying to help you do, is reduce that extreme volatility by spreading things out into other classes that might be more stable or counterbalance each other. Now let's jump into some simple examples of diversification in action. So example number 1, this person said they wanted 75% in US and 25% in global. So they decided to do 75% in US equities, but they're going to play it smart, and they're going to do a portion of that in the small cap, another small portion in mid cap, and a final portion in the large cap. And then their very last portion, their last 25, they're going to do in international. So that way they get 3 categories in the US, 3 major cap categories, and then finally the remaining 25% in an international space. Now typically the whole entire market could go rock and roll a little and up and down, but it doesn't mean if the US goes extremely down, the international is going to go extremely down. There are moments where the international will stay flat. And again, that'll help you cushion. And then vice versa, the US could skyrocket and the international could be kind of flat. And that's okay. Again, this helps you. This is about stabilizing performance over the long term. Here's yet another example. And again, we're doing quick examples. There are so many ways of doing this. Can't cover them all in one video. But here's another example. This time around, this is a different person who said, you know what, I want 85% in US equities. So I want a portion in small, a portion in mid, and a portion in large. But conversely, they said, you know what, international is not for me. I said, hey, fine. They said, you know what, I want a little more spice. I want a little more energy. I want to go to sector play. Okay? If that sector's rocking and rolling and doing great, you know what? That was a great move, especially if they're willing to ride the ups and downs of the market and they're willing to stay into it for 5-10 years. You never know. This might be a good move. In fact, we're going to take this one step further. We're going to see how both play out with a similar investment account, similar consistent investing over the years to see which one does better. And again, this is just an example. No one can ever pick properly, but spreading it out can really help you see some great results over time. And that's what we're really going for here. Consistent results over time. Finally, we're going to jump into the spreadsheets and we're going to take a look at diversification in action. We're going to do a person that's going to do $10,000 per year, and they're going to do it in a general investment account. First off, they decided to go with a Fidelity Total Market Index as their large cap. Then they went with a Fidelity Index Market Fund, which is their mid cap, and finally a Fidelity Small Cap Value for their small cap. And then for their international, they went with a Vanguard Total International. And then you can see the 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year, and 10 year. But let's focus on the 10 year. The 10 year for your Fidelity Total Market, 12.16. Your mid cap, 9.08. Your small cap, 9.24. And then your international, 4.69. And then we're going to move on to the other allocation in a moment. All right, so changing it up. Again, we're going to do the large cap of the Fidelity Total Market Index, the mid cap, the Fidelity Extended Market, and then finally the small cap of the Fidelity Small Cap. But the sector that they chose was technology. Wise move in this case. Technology has been kicking butt for the last couple of years. In fact, the last 10 years. So what does this end up looking like? Let's look at those 10 years. So again, our 10-year for the Total Market Index for the Fidelity, 12.16. Your mid cap, 9.08. Small cap, 9.24. But look at that technology, 19.37. That really kicked butt. I think we're going to see a pretty interesting difference. Again, we're doing 10,000 per year. So to make this about the same, we're doing 10,000 per year per account. But the only thing we changed up were two major factors. And you're going to see that diversification in action. So again, your first three make up about 85%. You can't see the rounding, but you add up the three with rounding is about 85%. Then finally, that technology play, that technology sector is going to be your last 15%. And then we're going to take a look at what this portfolio will look like. We're going to compare the two side by side. All right, now let's jump into the results. All right, 165 versus 195. Look at that. A lot of growth here in both cases, but there's a difference, right? So again, here's our first person. Our first person had 3 US-based funds and 1 international. The international kind of dragged him down because it didn't perform so well over the 10-year span. It was 4%. Let's confirm that. It was 4.69%. Now that second person really had some great returns, about 95,000 or 96 rounded up. So why is that? Because again, they did 85% between the US-based small cap, US-based mid cap, and US-based large cap. And then finally, that last 15% kicked butt in a 10-year return on that tech sector play. That was a SPDR fund. This is a SPDR Technology Sector Fund, and that had 19.37. That is just amazing. That really helped. But you know what? Both cases, they're winners here. Let's really talk about this the right way. In both cases, they experienced a lot of growth. And if this was a couple, you know what I would call them? A damn power couple. Because you know what? Between both these accounts, they invested consistently. They have a total of $361,000 between two people, assuming this is a couple. But still not bad. Let's talk about this. That diversification led both parties to have growth. Just in this case, the second case, they had more growth because the tech sector performed substantially better in a 10-year span than the international when you compare those two respective funds. Really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to make. See you in the next video. This video is brought to you by Next Chapter Financial Solutions and Services. So please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you enjoyed this video, also drop a comment. It is our goal at Next Chapter to provide you with information to help you take action to improve your financial situation. Please check out our links on our Etsy page for printables and files to help you take action. We also offer one-on-one coaching. Our goal is to help our customers determine a clear path to achieving their financial goals. So if this is something you are interested in, please click the link below to contact us. Talk to you soon, and I hope you enjoyed the video.